What's up, VFW? What's going on?
You guys ready for a Friday comedy showcase?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy.
Thank you all so much for coming out. We are your hosts. My name is Zach Amon.
My name is Shawn Singleton.
Welcome. What this is our sixth Winners Showcase. I know, it's crazy. Time flies. Every Wednesday, Shawn and I host an open mic here, and we always have, not always, but most of the time, we have a funniest set winner, and that winner is added to a list, and then they get put on this show.
Each month,
Yeah.
Second Friday of each month, you can come here, like you're doing right now, and you can witness some of the best of Tulsa local comics.
Yeah, you're witnessing the best of the best tonight, guys. These are champions.
Low class.
Take care of Nikki behind the bar tonight. Yeah?
Don't forget about her.
Yeah.
She's best.
Is there anything else, Shawn?
Tip your bartender!
Yeah, tip your bartender. I think that was included.
Yeah. Oh, with that, I think that's everything.
With that, let's kick this show off. You guys ready for a kick-ass show tonight? Yeah? Well, please welcome my co-host, Shawn Singleton!
I know this is a showcase, and I'm not going to do this for the rest of it, but I wrote something down beforehand when I was kind of preparing for this. I've kind of been a self-hating Okie for most of my life. I just have a few things against the South because of all the stereotypical racism and hate that comes with it. And I guess I think I'm better than that. Like, it's not a classist thing, it's just not me. But as I'm typing this, I realize I'm sitting in my garage with the door open, smoking pot. You see, my wife has this rule in the house where I'm not allowed to smoke weed inside if I'm not around an air filter. So I can sit outside, but it's raining, you see, so I'm going to sit in the garage. And as I'm sitting there with the garage door open, smoking pot, I'm also in my underwear because it was raining. And on my way to the parking garage today, I got absolutely drenched. Like, I had to throw all my clothes in the dryer, but I still need to smoke pot to prepare for this properly. As you can see, it's all tantamount to the performance. And I'm trying to think, I somehow don't fit into this place? Maybe I'm wrong. Well, that's a perfect setup for my actual intro. I bombed really bad the other night. I hope I don't do that tonight. Yeah, thank you. I hope I don't do that tonight. But I mean, I'm familiar with bombing. I'm from Oklahoma City. I get it. Too soon. When is it not too soon anymore? But no, it's the karma thing. Like, I knew I was gonna bomb because I got there and I got the best spot up front, right outside of the club, like free. No one's, it's not raining. It's just perfect. And that is the world. That's the universe's way of telling you, enjoy this fuckface because you are about to get screwed harder than a Jeffrey Epstein employee. Like, it always works out that way. Around the holidays, you need that one specific thing you go to the mall for, which for me, I just personally, from November to like early January, I just completely avoid 71st and Memorial. That's like the corridor to the gates of hell. You don't need to be there. But you go to the mall, you need that very specific thing. You get there, you pull into the very best spot. It's right up front, right by the food court, so you can go in and get your Cinnabon because, let's face it, you gotta get some food when you're at the mall. But you get that perfect spot. And you should just go home now because they're not going to have what you came for. That's the whole problem there. You got the best spot. The karma is against you. You've thrown off the balance. Me personally, I have that situation. I get the best spot. I know I need to balance it out. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, what's a good deed I can do? I could drive around the parking lot and, give up the nice spot and let it be for someone else, and then I'll also be exercising by walking. So that's like double karma points. But my fat ass isn't going to do that. So I sit in that parking spot, and then I'm like, ooh, I'm going to need to find like a homeless person to jerk off or something. Otherwise, that special edition of Zelda is not going to be in stock when I go to GameStop. And I refuse to get the original edition. I'm better than that. I mean, as far as karma goes as a whole, I've got I had a spell of bad luck in my life. I worked for Walgreens when I was in high school and college for like 6 years. And I'm going to say this is bad luck, and I'll explain why I think it is, because I don't think you'll think it's bad luck. I never got robbed when I worked at Walgreens. Never got robbed. And most of you are like, no, that should be good. No, it's not, because you see, for me, every quarter you had to have this safety talk when you worked at Walgreens. And they're like, we care about you here at Walgreens. That's why we don't give you a paid break. We value you as a unique, identifiable employee. That's why I don't remember your name, even though you've worked here for 4 years. And we would never want you to take so much pride in the store that pays you a minimum wage, even though you've worked here for 4 years, that you would ever try and fight someone who comes in to steal money from the store. And it's like, bitch, you pay me minimum wage. We did not have to have this conversation. Someone comes in here waving a gun, I am helping them. That's why I always wanted to be robbed. It's like, I wanted to have that moment where I'm like, I planned for this, I'm in this. Money's under the till in all the other registers. I got keys for all of them. Benson and Hedges are $12 out the door. You can easily get 14 or 15 on the street. Let's make a deal. I suppose I got some good luck though too. Like just this past November, I celebrated my first year anniversary with my wife. Yeah, thank you. That's been really nice. You know, being married's not that different, I guess. But you bicker over little things. I mean, we lived together for a little bit before we were actually married. But the one that drives me crazy is she doesn't do her dishes. And it's not like we have some sort of a split where like anyone has ever agreed to just doing all the dishes in the house. So it's just a simple thing of like, just clean up after yourself, you know? Now, I'll give you a fact about my wife that makes this a little bit more irritating for me. My wife's in her 4th year of medical school. My wife's studying to be a pathologist. If you're unfamiliar with what a pathologist is, they're the lab doctors. They're the people that cut up dead bodies and are up in guts all day, every day, up to their elbows. But something about a plate with some melted cheese on it is disgusting. Are you fucking kidding me right now? You know what she got for Christmas? Dish gloves. No, it's just... She didn't. She got like a Fox body pillow, so she really likes the body pillow, but I'm kind of curious. Like, I don't know if that was a smart move, because if I ever come home and see that she's like stitched a dildo to it, I know that I'm replaceable, because the body pillow accomplishes everything that I cannot. It doesn't snore in bed. It's always wanting to cuddle. It doesn't try to have sex with her. Well, now that just sounded creepy. I did say we're married, right? Oh, man. Another fun fact, another thing that just drives me batshit about these dishes, she grew up riding horses. No, hold with me here. She grew up riding horses. And like, I kind of figured basics for horse grooming techniques. You brush them, you gotta clean out the hooves, you gotta feed them hay. There's also this thing where you gotta clean their penis shaft. And then some of the other things you gotta give vitamins. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I heard some giggles. Was it on the cleaning the penis shaft thing? Did somebody want to go back to that? Yeah, did you know you have to clean horse penises? Yeah, I didn't know that either. But you can't clean a fucking plate with some, fruit that's been sitting in the sink for more than 15 minutes? Okay. I don't get it though, because there's like, I shouldn't feel self-conscious about this. I shouldn't feel invalidated by a horse. It's a horse. Like, why do I care? But obviously I'm gonna care. Guys, one of the hobbies I do is I play bass guitar. My hobbies have low self-esteem. Of course I'm gonna compare myself to this fucking horse penis. And I'm like, I was just confused by it. I'm like, but there's wild horses. How do they stay clean? And she's like, well, that's different because of soil types. I'm like, that makes zero fucking sense. I'm like, the only thing I can believe is that there is a government task force out there called Team Equus that roams through the Wild West, chasing down and cleaning horse penises. Because the Mustang population must stay strong. Like a very wild Mustang, I have hit my time. And I'm about to be put down. Guys, my name is Shawn Singleton. You guys have been wonderful. You're in for a great treat tonight.
Keep it going for Shawn, everybody. I'm behind this tube. I'm going to slam on this tube. This little shit. Just kidding. These people need to see this.
Exactly. And you got to be on the camera, too. Comics, 10 minutes, like we said before. Light will come from over here. And camera is also over here, too. If you want to play it up, catch that light in your eyes like the true actors and actresses you are.
And with that, let's welcome our first comic to the stage. Please welcome Ashlyn Benson!
Oh, thank you, VFW. How are you guys doing tonight? You made it out. You weren't scared of the weather, so we got some real performance in here. You're like, yeah, that's not happening. It didn't. What's this? Why are we doing this here? VFW? Why is the Christmas tree here? This has been bothering me. Let's straighten this little fellow out. Ooh, he's loose. Why? This is set. You gotta take, the Christmas tree doesn't have lights, throw it away. We burn these things when we're done with them here. Anyway, that's how you kick off a set. Yeah, that's how I won. That's why I'm on the Winners Showcase, guys. I'm really excited. This is fun. I've been recently married by someone. Wish I could find that asshole. What did he do? No, this is great. I'm glad. I'm out of the dating game. It's really cool, and it was about time because my wife and I, we were living together before we got married. And, life is sin. I'm Catholic, so, I live on the edge. And so, we needed to spice things up. So, put a ring on it, right? Because, every time we were going to bed at night, our sex was diminishing. It is. This is what happens. You don't have sex every night. You just have sex some nights. And we were getting really lazy. She would just be laying next to me, and then she would just be like, that was the sign. That's her rubbing her shin against my shin. And being like, you ready for this? These people know what it's like. Clacking bones, right? Nothing turns you on than two bones just grating against one another, right? Nothing really gets you in the mood than just reminding each other that you're skeletons, That's how we perform sex now. I don't like feeling bones. I don't like elbows being touched on me. I don't like it. So we're engaged and married. Oh my God. Backtracking. I don't. When we got engaged, I got engaged at Tulsa Botanical Gardens, and everyone's like, oh, you gotta, what? Why is that so? It's just outdoors. I just didn't do it indoors. You're like, oh my God, that's so romantic. There were trees. That's pretty much it. We walked around, and everyone was like, you gotta video it. You gotta. We want to see it. I was like, no one's gonna want to see this. Like, I'm not cool. I'm not smooth. I was walking around. I was like, all right, fine. I feel guilty. I'm about to propose. I'm going to hand the phone off to a stranger. And I saw this couple walking up. This is at night. And it was a couple. I was like, this is perfect. This is around Christmas, too. So they have all the lights, and there's kids running around. It was kind of hard to find a grown-up. And there's this couple coming up, and I went up. I told my fiance, I was like, hey, hold on a second. I'm going to have this couple take our picture. Hold on. And I ran over there, and I was like, hey, can you take our picture? Actually, can you press record? I'm about to propose. And the guy was like, and his wife just looked at me and was like, we got you. Like she was the witch of the Myriad Gardens. Like she was just hanging out there her entire time, just stirring her brews. Like, one day a fellow will come up here and ask me to record his love, and my story will be complete. Well, poof! So she did it. Those two people did not come to the wedding. I didn't trust them. I didn't like them. I don't like the cut of their jibs. Now we're married. And it's good. It's going really, really good. We're 3 months in, so thank God it's going great. But there's been some warning signs. When we were together before the marriage, we were taking a road trip together, and she was driving, I was in the passenger seat, and I said something like, man, I gotta pee so bad, I'm about to do it out this window, and she goes, don't you stick that little dick out that window and let it flap around in the wind. Red flag. First of all, how does a little dick flap around? You picture that word, that flap? I'm picturing like an American flag, just billowing, just flapping in the wind. She's referring to a flutter. Like a birthday streamer that broke off, and that little piece is just still attached to the wall, and the fan is just... And I was like, what? In a second, what do you mean by little? And she goes, when I say little, I mean cute. Cute little penis for making some headway, right? And she goes, what? You want one of those big dicks that hurt me? I was like, I do now. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, of course. Guys, you don't want a big dick. Women don't like big dicks. Have you read this? Should get on the internet. Pornography has skewed what we think sex is, and apparently women don't like big dicks anymore. They like comfortable, medium-sized penises. I'm really blessed then. I'm doing really good. See, when I was growing up, I measured. Every guy measured. Sir, I don't know how old you are, but you measured a week ago, I'm pretty sure. We have to keep measuring. We gotta know. And, I got some good news for everybody. About 2 years ago, we took a worldwide consensus. Guess what? The average erect penis got smaller. Used to be 6 inches. I know. Buckle up. My friend called me one day, and he was like, hey man, have you heard the good news? Like he was going to tell me about Jesus or something. He was like, search average penis size. You're not going to believe it. The average penis size is now 5.2 inches. We did it! I was like, why are you calling me about this information? He's like, I go, you never seen my dick? He's like, Adam, come on. I go, fair. You nailed it. So we're all doing good. Penises are supposed to be small now, so enjoy your life. I've been singing a song in my head for a long time. You guys know that One Direction song, Story of My Life? I'll take you home. I'm gonna drive all night just to keep you warm in time. It's frozen. Look, you don't have to shake your head. I'm not a singer. I'm not trying to serenade you here. But I sing that song. I love that song. It's stuck in my head every day. And then I was thinking to myself, no one ever says story of my life and it's a good thing. You don't eat ice cream, you're like, story of my life. This guy's talking about this woman he's supposed to be in love with, and he's like, story of my life. That song should go like this, story of my life. I've got to take you home. I got to drive all night just to keep you warm. Time is fucking frozen. Story of my life. Still love that song. How much time do we have here? Just asking the time. It's a simple question.
Minute 45.
Minute 45? Perfect. Excellent. I'm going to tell a joke because I don't give no fucks. I haven't told this joke in a long time, and someone said, tell this joke tonight. I'm going to tell this joke. So I went home. My parents live here, and I went home. My dad's a little older now. He's just turned 70. Real man's man. So I make sense. And so I went home, and he had this bag of juicy fruit gum, and I saw him roaming our yard and just sticking it into the ground. And I was like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, I'm killing moles. Did you know that? that juicy fruit gum kills moles? Yeah. I was like, he's like, it's not getting rid of them. I'm like, yeah, you're feeding them candy. They're used to dirt. Have you seen the face of a mole? It just looks like a face of an animal that exploded. It just looks like a blender, and it's just grinding through. Yeah, like, of course, like, if you stick gum into the ground, the mole's gonna be like, oh, the God above loves me. Yes, they're not gonna eat it. And I go, Dad, why juicy fruit gum? And he's like, because they hate Big Red. And I go, that's fair, everybody hates Big Red. I don't know, I guess that joke got better over the years. All right, guys, my name's Ashlyn Benson. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Keep it going for Adam Benson.
Adam, I'd like to remind you that one of the proud sponsors of the VFW Winners Showcase is Big Red menthol flavored gum.
All right. Why is that so funny? Are you guys ready for our next comic coming to the stage? Oh, we need a little bit more energy than that. Come on. Please welcome Ethan Sandoval.
Adam, I love your crowd awareness of seeing a room of middle-aged people and going, you know what material will work here? One Direction jokes. That seems like my demographic. Fucking juicy fruit, shit ass, fucking, you son of a bitch. You gotta keep doing it now. So this is the Winners Showcase, and yeah, that means I'm a winner. Let's see. Don't I look it? Oh, shit. I don't want you to think I think I'm better than you. I just want you to know that I am. So, let's say win a crowd of it, folks. A little bit about myself. I'm actually Chilean, 50% Chilean. I wasn't always this big, but I got trapped in a mine and had to eat my way out. So, here we are. I'm also autistic. Yeah, I have autism. I wasn't born with it, but a kid hit me with a fidget spinner and I caught it. It's a shitty toy transmitted disease. It's kind of like being a werewolf, Except instead of like having to go into a murderous rage on a full moon, I just had to explain trains to somebody for 4 hours. I personally believe we didn't land on the moon, and here's why. We keep releasing documentaries explaining that we did land on the moon, and it's gotten to a point where it just feels like a guy trying to convince you he's had sex with a woman. He's like, nah, dude, we fucking touched the shit out of those rocks. We got so deep in that crater, we gobbled up that sea of tranquility, I'm telling you. It's bullshit. Well, buy it. So I had to come out to my parents twice. I'm pansexual, which means I'm equal opportunity of rejection. And for those of you that don't know what pan means, pansexual means, pan means all, which means my dick takes on all comers. Yeah. That's my old drama teacher. Yeah. But I'm pansexual, and when I was 14, I came out to my dad. We were driving, and I was like, Dad, I need to come out to you. Here's the problem. I didn't come out to my dad as pansexual at that time. I came out to my dad as a vampire. I was like, Dad, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm not what you think I am, I know you really, you wanted your son to be this guy who's gonna do all these great things, but I gotta tell you, this is hard for me to say. And he was like, no matter what it is, Ethan, I'll love you. and I'll care for you, and I'll always be there and support you. And I went, Dad, I think I'm a vampire. And he went, you're a fucking dumbass. Who the fuck? And then 2 months later, I realized I like dicks. And I had to come out to my dad again. So I was driving in the car, and I go, Dad, I don't know how to tell you this. There's something about me you don't know. And he goes, what, are you a fucking werewolf now? And I went, well, no. And I was like, well, I think I'm bisexual. I came out as bisexual at the time. And he goes, well, are you sure it's not a phase? And I went, well, when I look at certain guys, my dick gets hard. And he went, oh, you're gay shit. And we've never talked about it since. So that's my coming out stories. Has anyone noticed this like spike in like sibling and step-brother and cousin porn? Anyone? Yeah, it's like the #1 most searched for porn term in like Oklahoma specifically. And it's confusing. I didn't realize when people said they wanted to take their relationship to the next step, they meant familial. I didn't realize that's what that meant. It's like, oh, let's take our relationship to the next step. Let's have fucked up children. Also, they recently changed the smoking age, right? They changed the smoking age from like 18 to 21, and I actually don't support that. And there's a reason for that, because like occasionally I would go outside of a Quick Trip, and there'd be like a 16 or a 17-year-old. I'd be like, hey man, can you go in there and buy me some cigarettes? I'll like do whatever you want, just give me some cigarettes. And I could be like, nah, I'm good, right? And then, now it's a 20-year-old who's like, hey, can you go in and buy me some cigarettes? I'll do whatever you want. And that is a much harder blowjob to turn down. Because it's legal now, you know? It's a legal blowjob at that point. It's no longer a question of legality, it's a question of my morals. And I've been single for 5 years, motherfuckers. Those morals are not strong. All right. Does anyone else remember the game Nintendogs? Does anyone remember this piece of Yeah. It was a game on the little DS handheld where you could have dogs and you could raise them and play them and walk them, and you know they would grow up, and you could. It was like having a pet, except you know your parents didn't love you enough to get you an actual pet. So they were like, here's the screen, shithead, fucking play this. So the game was fine, except there was one feature in this game that was really fucked up, okay? The dogs could run away, first of all, which, holy shit, if you didn't play with the dog enough, it would just run away, which is horrifying. But there was also a limit on how many dogs you could have in this game. And so if you wanted to get a new dog, after a certain point, I think it was like 4 dogs, you had to give away one of the dogs you already had, which is a horrifying decision for an 8-year-old, you know, because that dog is very important to them, you know. And again, it's not real, but like they've raised that dog, and they've been doing it for like 6 months. That's most of their life at this point. They're 8 years old. But like the programmers weren't satisfied with just making a child decide what creature to give up. No, because when you gave away one of these dogs, it didn't just say, oh, Poofy, I don't know, fucking has gone to a better, I'm not good on the fly, right? Has gone to a better home or whatever. No. It would show you the dog walking away from you just into the ether. And this is what it looked like. The dog would just be walking away like this. And its tail would be tucked between its legs. And it'd be walking away. And as if that wasn't dickish enough, right as it just almost got out of view, it would just turn. And then hang its head and keep walking. What the fuck? That's horrifying. Alright. I'll tell one more. invented a sex position. Alright, I didn't invent it. That would require having sex. I came up with a name for a sex position that already exists, alright? It's that thing when a fat guy is on top during sex, which if you're doing that, stop it. Someone is going to get hurt. More than likely the fat guy on top. And, just experience. But it's that thing when the fat guy's on top during sex and he's like, oh yeah, get it, oh, shit. Can you give me like a water or something? In through the nose, out through the mouth. Oh shit. When you get back, you're gonna get it so good. Oh, I'm cramping. Oh. Charlie horse. Oh shit. I call it intermissionary. All right. You guys have a great night.
Give me going for Ethan Sandoval, everybody. And let's keep that energy rolling for Miss Ashlyn Nicole.
Good evening, everybody. I am married to the first man you saw. Well, okay, wait, not Shawn Singleton. No, hot one. You guys are hot in your own right, okay? Jeez Louise. Oh man, I excited to be here. I'm living. I said goodbye to my young 20s, and I said hello to my older 20s. Also, I just want to say, as you can tell from Adam said, your girl ain't good at sex. Because, yeah, I ain't got no game. He's really put up with a lot. I'm just like, I don't know how to do it. You know, I can like present myself like I look like I know how to do it. But I can't. I just like pull down my pants and I'm like, you want to do some sexy now? That's how I. You know, they never show the women in porn like being like, wait. Well, I mean, okay, they are sexy. So, but I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know how to harness my inner porn star. Okay, that's, all right, next one, guys. But yeah, it's different getting older, you know, and I'm still young, you know, my joints still work, so everything's good. I can definitely see the future of my tits, though. In the next 10 years, they're just gonna look like two melting ice cream scoops. Sorry, that was a tongue twister, y'all. You know, and it's not the same, like, when you go out dancing, 21, 22, it's just like, you know, it's just all about that ass, you know. There was even a song by Big Sean, you know, where it's like, ass, wobbly, wobbly, wobble. That dude made money off of that. What? He just said like the same two words. God. And now that I'm older, you know, I'm like, but I'm worth so much more than my ass. And then as I was writing the joke, I was like, but what do I have to offer other than my ass? Okay, cool, that one landed just how I wanted it to. Ooh, sizzle burn. I'm saying I don't know what else to do besides this. Isn't that what the dudes want? For New Year's, I went to Fassler Hall. New Year's is lame now. I'm done with it. Goodbye. It's just like, you never know what you're gonna get. People get stupid. It's dumb. I hate it, man. Fucking, I love like when you can't do the middle finger, like just like arthritis, fuck you, you know? Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I have smoked weed all my life. Not even all my life, that was a lie. I just wanted to sound cool, guys. It's been the last 2 years, you know, when it became legal, yeah, that's when I started doing it. So hard, right? When I was a kid, I grew up really sheltered. And so, like, with all my Ken Barbie dolls, I was just ripping their pants off violently, like, what's under there? And I was so disappointed to see the just smooth crevasse, you know? Like, I know that that's not it, because I've looked really hard at some dude's shorts, and it ain't smooth. And then when I finally got to see my first penis, I was as equally disappointed as the smooth one. Fortunately, all genitals look ugly. The only thing is the ass that looks good. Everybody likes that ass. So much so that people be eating out of it. That's gross, y'all. That's gross. I don't want that. I don't even care if it would feel the best ever, because you know what? I know what happens with my ass, and no human should ever experience that part of me, you know? God. I was never good at dating either. You know, I would just be like, hey dudes, wanna slang some badoinky doink? Making my own slang. Give me some of that badoinky doink. This is all over the place, and I apologize, you know? I'm just slanging badoinks. God, I can't even, like, finish a fucking joke. That's why I feel like I need to give it up, you know? I need to quit it. Quit it before it destroys my life and my brain. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something, okay? Alright, we're in the 20s. You know, hold on, let me switch mics. Alright, we're in the 20s, okay? So, we're here in the 20s smoking our vape jewels, you know, let me just pop on my fedora hat, and here we are. Yeah, we're fucking living in this fucking life. Alright, let me take a little poof poof. That jewel vape, that's how we do it now in the fucking 20s, you know what I'm saying? Oh, jeez Louise, oh. But let me tell you something. You ever get scared of the dark? Yeah, when it gets real late at night. Oh, and all of the sky is so cloudy and dark. Ooh, this piano is broken. You see it? It's one that just pops right on out. Oh, yeah. Well, I start to go to bed with my husband, you know? And maybe I'll rub my shins on him. Ooh. It's gonna get him going, isn't it? And then he starts to reach over, and I think he's gonna reach for my breast. But then he just goes to turn out the lights. Oh my God, and I'm like, boy, do you know what you're fucking doing? You're about to let the darkness in all over me. You know, and like, people can like murder. You know, someone could be coming right at me and I wouldn't be able to see it now, would I? Do you ever get scared of the dark? Do you ever feel like you're gonna lose your mind? 'Cause someone's gonna rape you in the middle of the night. Oh, so baby, don't turn out the light. Please don't turn out the light. I was so scared of the dark for all of my life, so I sleep with twinkle twinkly lights, you know, like on Pinterest and stuff. Oh, I'm gonna tell you all about the things that I hate about the dark. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. My name is Ashlyn Johnson.
Ashlyn Nicole, everybody.
Ashlyn
Here we
Nicole.
go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
That took a turn I did not expect. That was... Give it up one more time for Ashlyn.
oh man, that's fun.
That was awesome.
I
Well,
turned a little bit out of me.
who's next?
Who's next? This guy playing coy over here. Fucking bashful bride. Ladies and gentlemen, our next comic coming to the stage, please give a warm VFW welcome for my co-host, the illustrious Mr. Zach Amon.
I'm glad someone else called out the illustrious thing too. No. All right, let's move this over here. Right there. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, before I begin this set, before I start anything, let's raise our glass to the great Neil Peart. And for those of you that don't know who that is, shame. And for those of you that do, let's hang out, let's smoke some weed. I have a friend that's really into antiquing, and I think it's really stupid. I think it's dumb. Who wants garbage? If you liked it so much, you would have kept it, you know? But he's into it. He calls me the other day. Well, let me preface this. He went antiquing the other day. And he got a rotary phone. You guys remember those? The ones that, like, you know, you do this, and it, you know, it goes back, you do that, it goes back. You know, it takes like 4 hours to call someone, and by the end, you're like, I don't give a shit that it's my grandma's birthday. Like, fuck her, you know? I don't care. But he gets a rotary phone, and he, like, calls me on it. And he's like, hey, bro, guess where I'm calling you from? And I indulge him because I'm, like, a good friend. And I'm like, oh, I don't know, bro, your new cell phone? And he's like, no, my rotary phone. And I'm like, oh, cool, I'm so happy for you. And he's like, yeah, watch what I can do. Click. And he hangs up. And it was loud. And I was offended. So I went and bought a musket and shot him. Isn't America great? You can do that. It's a great country. I have another friend who's also shitty, who gets mad at unrealistic things in movies. Like, we were watching John Wick the other day, and every scene, he was like, he'd have died there, he'd have died of ammo, he'd have died there. How's he doing that? And I was like, bro, just watch the movie. He's on a killing spree for his dog. Like, just suspend reality a little bit. He works at a bank. Anytime there's a movie with a bank transaction, he's like, that's not what it would look like. Like, he's like, $100,000 would not fit a suitcase. $100,000 in full $100 bills would be like this big. I can palm that. I can palm $100,000 in $100 bills. And I'm like, just watch Dodgeball, bro. Just relax. The other day, though, he really took it out of me. We're watching a period piece set in the past, you know, and there's this scene where they go into a restaurant, and he's like, why would that concept exist to them? The restaurant wouldn't even be a thought to those people. And I'm like, bro, it's the Emperor's New Groove. Just watch the movie. Like, you're upset that there's a restaurant, but not the fact that he's a talking llama? Where are your priorities? You're a shitty friend. And I should have known whenever we went and saw Endgame, Avengers Endgame, the best movie of 2019. Don't argue with me. Anyway, so, you know, this is one of the first times we were hanging out, and I was like, oh man, I was jazzed. I was like, man, I watched Infinity War last night. I was like, did you see Infinity War? He's like, no, the last one I saw was Iron Man 2. And I was like, fuck. I knew I should have broke up with him right there. I knew I should have been, well, as a friend, not as, we're not, I mean, he's cute, but like, you can't date a guy who has shitty taste in movies, right? Like, you can't blow him afterwards. Like, no, that's not cool. Like, if your favorite movie's like, you know, John Wick 2, like, how do you top someone like that? Like, that's not cool, no. You can't do that. I'm revealing too much about myself tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta calm down. I'm real upset. But I have shitty friends, so it's made me decide to take up smoking. You know? Yeah, thank you. I don't get enough support for that. Give it up for smoking. There we go. I want to mainly so that I can die before my friends. But I also want to do it to see if I can beat the earth, you know? Because, like, let's be real, guys. This whole getting rid of plastic straws, stopping the meat industry, planes, boats, all that, that's not going to work. You know what's going to work? All of us dying. That's what's going to work. And I'm doing my part. Are you guys? No, I didn't think so, because you're selfish. You're selfish. Now that the smoking age is 21 and up, I like to look at 18-year-olds and go, have fun at war, and walk off. Oh, man. You know, my grandma asked me the other day why I still want to be a comic, and I don't know how to answer that question anymore. When I first started comedy, it was all about global domination. I wanted to be the best of the best. I wanted to be my generation's Dave Chappelle, you know? And as time has gone on, I just want to get to a level of, like, notoriety and fame that I meet, like, Demi Lovato, you know? And I can, like, ask her out on a date, and if she says yes, awesome. If she says no, I'm going to do heroin in front of her, and she's going to feel real bad and have a relapse, hopefully. Bitch. No, I'm just kidding. But now I'm at a point. Now I'm at a point where, like if I had a special on YouTube and you watched it, you would go tell a friend. Like, that's what I want to be. I want to be a recommended comedian. You know, someone that you go and you're like, I don't expect much. And then at the end, you're like, I was pleasantly surprised with this. I was, you know? Like, I kind of want to be like the Monte Cristo sandwich of comedy, you know? On paper, you're like, what? Ham, cheese, French toast, powdered sugar, strawberry, what the fuck kind of shit? And then you bite into it and you're like, oh, this is quite nice. This is really good. I really like this. That's what I want to be. I want to be your guys' sandwich, you know? I want to be in all of your mouths. Thank you guys. My name is Zach.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Amon. Let him hear it.
Nice. I appreciate it.
Well, guys, are you ready? We've got a special treat for you.
We have a special treat tonight. Two special treats. Two special treats. We're very excited. These guys came all the way down from St. Louis. Please welcome Scott Lang. Or Scott James.
Scott James, guys.
That's Marvel. Scott James. I'm sorry. I got Marvel on the mind.
That's fine. You don't need to know my name. All right? If it doesn't go well, you definitely don't need to know my name. Thank you guys for coming out. I have a job. You guys have jobs? Playing on the phones in the back. I have a job during the day. I want to make this my living, but I have a job. I install flooring. I install fancy flooring in rich people's houses. My house is so nice I shouldn't be allowed inside, right? But I show up in the morning and I knock on the door and they just let me in. No questions asked. It's weird, isn't it? Not weird to anybody. I have a piece of shit house with nothing of value on the inside to steal. I still got a load of questions when people want to come in and touch my stuff. Can I see a business card? What's up with that neck tattoo? Why do you smell like pee? Those are just the first three. When people want to come into where I sleep, all right. I work in people's bedrooms a lot, so I find dildos a lot. All right. It just is what. It's not weird anymore. You understand? It's common. It's crazy common. Some people know how to party. I don't know what to tell you. Right? It's not a weird item to find around people's bedrooms and their houses. If you want to know the weirdest thing I've found in somebody's house, it's not even a weird item, really. It's just a weird abundance and placement. I was doing this dude's whole house, and every item of furniture I moved, a loaded handgun would fall out. Right? I get it. I know guys like this. I got guys like this in my family. He's a gun nut. You got "Don't Tread on Me" posters on his walls. This type of guy, he doesn't trust the government. All right? But he trusted me, everybody. And that's a mistake, because a lot of comics, they sell merchandise after the shows. I'm selling stolen Glocks, everybody. So if you're in the market, hit me up. I will sign it for you with somebody else's name, because that's a felony, right? But yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that's weird, finding sex toys in people's bedrooms and stuff like that. It's not. It's crazy common. If this were the Family Feud, Steve Harvey would go, survey says, and it would be answer number 1 every time. And you know it, Tulsa, all right? This is a true story. I found a dildo suction cup to somebody's bathroom wall one time. I didn't know they could do that. So many ideas raced through my head, you know what I mean? I'd never seen that, all right? And by the way, this lady knew we were coming over. It's not a reality show where we surprise people with bathroom renos, right? And she had to commit to it because there's a camera in her face, all right? She scheduled this. She knew we were coming. She was probably coming. That's why she forgot to. She scheduled it. All right. It's an easy one. Yeah, man, we showed up in the morning. We knocked on the door. She had her purse in her hand. She was like, you're working in the master bathroom. It's upstairs. And then she went to work. I got to imagine that about halfway through her day at work, she was like, Because that's embarrassing to know that you left it out, let alone where you use it. All right, I understand that's embarrassing. It's mortifying. Lucky for her, I'm a professional. All right, this is not my first rodeo. I did the right thing. I put rubber gloves on. All right, so I don't know this lady. Right? I flopped it one time just for me, just to see how well it was on there. You find that laying around, you're not going to flop it one time just to see what's the technology. Is it just the suction cup? Is it bolted on there? If I slap it really hard to the side, does it flip around the tile like a trapdoor? I just want to know the technology is all. It wasn't any of that. It was just the suction cup. I removed it, and I put it in one of my coworkers' lunch boxes as a goof. I'm 38 years old, and I put a dildo in a 52-year-old man's lunchbox. It's just a life I'm living. You can have a good time like me too, all right? Because I saw this thing on Facebook. It's where I got a lot of my news and information from. I saw this thing on Facebook. There was this middle school in Pennsylvania, and they did this experiment with their kids. And the experiment was about bullying. What they did was they took 2 identical plants, and they put it in the hallways of the middle school, right? These 2 identical plants. And one of these plants, the kids would walk by and say nice things to the plant, like how well it was growing, how beautiful it was, God bless you, plant, things like that, right? And then the other plant, they would bully the shit out of that plant, right? Because what happens is the plant you're nice to, it grows well and it grows beautiful. The other plant that you're mean to, it doesn't grow as well, all right? Which doesn't help the bullying, by the way, right? This whole experiment is designed to keep the kids from bullying each other because they see how it affects other living things. And I'm sure it kept the kids from bullying each other because they were so busy coming up with clever insults for that plant. All right? Because you can bully each other, but kids, you bully each other as easy. Your mom's fat, your dad's stupid, you're poor. Those are the easy ones. It's crazy common. I do it to this day. All right? But how do you bully a plant? You got to learn about botany first. All right? These kids are entering middle school just bullies, and then they're leaving certified horticulturalists. All right? Just walking by the plant, go, look at your shallow-ass root structure. Head-ass plant. Man, fuck your low nitrogen content in your soil. Shit like that, right? That's what I wanted to happen. These kids learn a bunch of shit, you know? But that's not what happened. They just bullied the plant like they would bully a kid. One of the kids just walked by the plant, slapped one of the leaves. This whole experiment is a lot of takeaways, all right? You bully each other, all right? You bully that plant that doesn't grow as well, and that tells me the plants have feelings, which makes me not trust vegans at all right? Because that's all they eat specifically is just the plants, like knowing full well that they have feelings, all right? I eat all kinds of shit. Meat, root, berries, I don't give a fuck. If it tastes good, I'll eat it, all kinds of animals. But if I came to you and if I was like, guys, I only eat rabbits, you would think I had a vendetta or something against rabbits, like the cutest animal possible. What did they do to this poor kid? Right? I have a kid. You guys got kids? Your parents? No. Okay. Everybody knows how to pull out but me. Okay, thanks. Good. I have a kid. I love my kid. Kid's 16 years old now. Tough age, all right? He's get a little bitchy all the time, no reason. Right? Starts in 6th grade, I think. I dropped my kid off for the first day of 6th grade, and on that first day, he could not have imagined a smarter, braver, more capable human being than me. And then by the end of the 6th grade, I was just the dumbest son of a bitch he'd ever met, right? It's kids. Well, my kid, he was always very sensitive when he was little, all right? If I told him to clean his room in a weird way, he would cry a little bit. That's how sensitive he was, all right? So I would have fun telling him to clean his room. We were watching the news one day when he was about 5 years old, all right? And I was just watching the news together. Terrible idea, all right? And there's always bad things. On this particular news broadcast in St. Louis, some terrible father had gotten caught beating up his kid on a security camera, right? It was big news. My kid's watching this, and he started to cry a little bit. And I was like, buddy, what's wrong? He goes, well, that's awful, a father hitting their kid like that. And I said, I know, buddy. All that kid needed to do was clean his room like his dad asked him to. This whole thing couldn't have been avoided, and your room's dirty. I'm gonna throw that out there. It gets more complicated every year with your kids. Nowadays, everything's more complicated. This is what my kid did to me. See, I'll tell it to you like this. My kid was born a girl, all right, and now identifies as male. My kid is trans. So what's the deal with airline food, you guys? Like, you don't even get peanuts a lot of times. You get stale pretzels every time on Southwest, man. Fuck Southwest. Right. Nowadays, my kid's trans. I just wanted to make you guys uncomfortable before I leave, all right? And I close with this, so if it doesn't go well, I can just not talk to anybody afterwards, right? That's a tough thing to have to run by your dad, man. This is new information. I'm not trying to change how anybody feels about this type of thing, by the way. It's not going to affect how much I love my kid, is what I'm trying to say, all right? He's been borrowing my good shirts. That'll affect how much I love him, right? But not this type of thing, right? Because I don't care about things like that. I don't judge people like that. I judge people 3 ways. Are you nice? Do you smell bad? And can I borrow $100? All right? But not stuff like this. My kid's a little light on cash, but he's a good kid. All right? Love him to death. How do you run that type of thing by your dad? Especially a manly motherfucker like me. How do you run that by? It takes balls. Not real balls, pretend balls. But you get it. It takes guts. All right? I just told him like this. I said, buddy, that's no big deal. I don't care about things like that. I love you because of who you are, not what you are. All right? You're a good kid. And I'll tell you what, don't even worry about it here at home. I love you, and I'm going to keep loving you. And when your mom gets home from work, we can tell her together. And he goes, Mom already knows. I told her a month ago. I was like, what the fuck, kid? You ruined our first good father-son moment by telling your mom first? See, this whole time, I thought I was raising a smart, strong, independent young woman. It turns out I've been raising a mama's boy this entire time, right? And now I think my son might be gay. I don't know what to do with it. All right, thanks, everybody. Thanks for having me, Tulsa.
Scott James,
Scott James, everybody. Keep it going.
all the way from St. Louis. As is our next comic coming to the stage. Zach, you want to...
Please welcome Jeremy Hellwig, everybody!
Jeremy Hellwig, guys. There's been a drink up here for at least a few comics. I don't know who left it. Oh, never mind. I don't care. So one thing about me, I don't tell my coworkers much about myself. They mainly just know me as that guy that went on The Price is Right that one time. And my friends mainly know me as that guy that lies to his coworkers. That's a lot of fun. There's this group of people on the internet that I think are hilarious. And they're men's rights activists. And they call themselves meninists. Yeah, it's already funny. But the thing that I think is hilarious about men's rights activists that call themselves meninists is that means that they think the opposite of feminine is meninin. It's like when people say they're a meatitarian. It's like, oh, you meatables? Fuck you. It's not a word. Have you ever wondered about how disappointed Willy Wonka must have been when he lured all those kids to his chocolate factory and they each brought a parent? Like, he came out, he did that somersault, he's like, ta-da! I gave them all a +1. Did none of these kids have friends?
I didn't start a candy company because I wanted to have sex with parents. And he starts setting traps to kill the parents, but the kids keep dying. He's like, fuck! Then he's like, Charlie, you can have the factory. It's not as much fun as it looks like. So there are two types of toilets, okay? There's regular toilets, which are ovals. There's terrible, cheap toilets, which are circles. If you've never noticed the difference before, you don't have a penis. Okay? Because with the regular toilet, which only costs like $50 more to install one time up front, you can live your life like a human being with dignity while you poop. With the cheap ones, your dick touches the underside of the seat every time. And it really is every time. Sometimes it's the front of the bowl, you know, the dirtiest part of any given building. Feel good about saving money, Mr. Dirty Dick, that $50 3 years ago? Yeah, you feel good about that, cheap ass motherfucker? You just don't want people to poop at your house? I don't know. So my point is, ladies, if you go home with a man and he has a circle toilet in his apartment, don't put that dick in your mouth. Because you know where it's been. Like if you went to a restaurant and the menu said they have nice steaks, but it also says that part of the preparation process involves that steak touching a toilet, you're not just going to hope they also gave it a shower. Go to a different restaurant. This joke is just a PSA. And in this instance, PSA stands for Penis Sanitation Advisory. Just a lot of fun to say. When I meet people, I usually later remember that I met them. I'll recognize their face, but I'm really bad with names, I guess is what I'm saying. Which is a lot of words for I'm inconsiderate, I guess. But back in college, there's a guy that I would see at parties all the time. And he was great with names, and he let you know it. Because he'd be like, hey, Jeremy, how's it going? Like, oh, hey, what's up? And then he would literally do this. Yeah, I forgot your name again. Yes, it's my fault. Okay, I feel bad. Fuck you. Like, this guy's name was Jeff, I learned later, and he's the worst person I've ever met. Like, I was complaining about it to my girlfriend at the time, and she said, that guy does the same thing to me. And she called him that guy because she also doesn't remember his name. So we came up with a revenge plan. We figured out from our friends his name's Jeff. And then we studied real hard all week. Like, we're real bad at names. We literally made flashcards. We had one flashcard. One side said Jeff, the other side said guy that's an asshole. Came up with mnemonic devices. The only one I remember right now was just eat ass, fuck face. Which spells Jeef, but context clues, that's Jeff. And then we went to a party, we walked in, and he saw us, and he said, hey, Jeremy, hey, Anna, how's it going? And then we, in unison, said, your name's Jeff, fuck you! And then we just left the party. Just went home and celebrated. And as the door was closing, I heard someone in the room go, yeah, fuck Jeff. I finally know how my grandpa felt when he won World War II. Really good. I vanquished evil. That's fucking awesome. So, people say that Batman is the world's greatest detective. Like, that's kind of his thing, that and, I guess, bats. But here's the thing. I don't think he's that good. Because if you think about it, none of the bad guys from Batman are difficult to detect. What detective work are you doing? Like, you think about, okay, what's Two-Face's main attribute? He has a very memorable face. You gonna accidentally arrest the guy that burned the top half of his face? Also, what's his other trait? He makes decisions by flipping a coin. If there was a villain in Gotham called a regular-looking guy that tries not to be caught, Batman would be like, oh man, I don't know. Did they leave any branded merchandise? That's all I figured out was the Joker. What's the Riddler's power? He feels compelled to leave additional evidence at the scene of the crime. It's literally his entire conceit. People think Batman's great. I think people just thought Batman was a great detective because all the other police in Gotham just sucked ass so much. Like, Batman was created in, like, the 40s. That's like, Jim Crow was still a thing. Like, back then, they were probably like, witnesses said that the culprit resembled a penguin. I guess we'll go just beat up black teenagers till one confesses to bank robbery. And Batman's like, there's a guy that goes by the Penguin. You know that, right? Like, oh my God, he's so smart. Also, does anybody else remember that movie, Dark Knight Rises? The movie in which it took Batman 2 hours to learn that Bane's weakness is being punched in his breathing mask. That movie sucks so bad. I was so angry when I saw that. So probably the biggest change that's happened to me in the past year is now whenever I eat food that tastes really good, or I'm about to eat food that I think will taste really good, I will hear myself involuntarily say, oh boy. Sometimes it's like that, sometimes it's, oh boy. I was at a restaurant and a waiter brought me my steak and I heard myself go, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And I startled myself, but I mainly startled that waiter. Because I looked up and he was in the Heisman position, like, that's a problem. But apparently that's just a change your body goes through when you turn 32. It's like second puberty or something, I don't know. But, so recently I was driving my car and I saw this other car get T-boned in the intersection, and I was fine, but I heard myself go, oh, boy. I was like, oh no, is this gonna be all I can say in the future? Am I just gonna be like Hodor from Game of Thrones? This here's, oh boy. We call him that because he can only say, oh boy. I'm like, oh boy. That's right, oh boy, we got guests. But nobody wants to talk to you if you're just gonna say, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just go back to your room, oh boy. Oh boy. That just ends in a sad act out. There's nothing more to that joke. It just peters out. People get, man, that'll be sad when that happens to him. I'm ending on this. Whenever I graduated from college, I went and taught English at a university in China for a year. And one thing that happened was all my students wanted me to give them an English name, you know, like John or Sally or whatever. But the problem is, whenever I lesson planned, I like to drink a few beers. Let's just say right now in China, there's a young woman tells white people her name's Octopussy. She's doing better than Finger Bang, though. He's having a hard time. Also, I almost got in a fight with this Chinese guy, and I learned an important lesson, which is if you're gonna try and intimidate somebody, just use your own language. Because at some point I said to him, how about you get the fuck out of my face? And then he said, no, you fuck my face. I'm an English teacher, I can explain what went wrong, but you're not gonna like it. But then again, maybe that's just how he fights, right? Maybe that was a trap. It's the most vulnerable position from which to fight. Inside someone's mouth. And you're like, where do I hit him without hitting me? And there is an answer, and it's the last thing I'm gonna say. I'm sorry, it's gross, but it's the back of the throat. That's where you do it. Hey, you guys have been fun. This has been awesome. Jeremy Hellwig, you guys.
Jeremy Hellwig, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it. Yeah, we give it up for all the comics you saw tonight. Yes.
Give it up for Nikki, your bartender.
Yes, give it up for her. Give it up for yourselves for being out here. Thank you for braving the weather. You know, it was shitty.
For Sound Student Networks.
Yes,
one of the co-sponsors of this showcase.
Yeah, they helped out with us. And with that, have a good night, get home safe, and we do this, we'll see if we do it, what's next, February?
February, I don't know the date.
7th? February 7th will be our next Winners Showcase, so come back and check it out.
Nope. It's actually Valentine's Day. It's February.
Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it's February
14th. February 14th?
Well, yeah.
He's married, give him a break. February 14th is our next one. Come out to that. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We appreciate it. I have been Zach Amon.
My name is Shawn Singleton. We love
Have
you
a
guys.
good night.